Many classics stick in our cultural memory because they are simple stories well told. They explore universal themes like faith, hope, and love. Other films enter the canon precisely because of their ambiguity. People love to debate what's in Marcellus Wallace's briefcase in Pulp Fiction, or what Bill Murray said to Scarlett Johansson at the end of Lost in Translation, or what the heck is even happening in Mulholland Drive. Room 237 is an amazing documentary about the many complex and contradictory interpretations of The Shining.
The mean distance of the moon from the Earth is exactly 237,000 miles. So he changed that so that you would understand that this was the moon room.
Some theorists seem to take a strange pleasure in trying to justify the most outlandish reinterpretations. Wendy is the real villain of The Shining, Kevin is the real villain of Home Alone, Jar Jar is the real villain of Star Wars, the Empire did nothing wrong, Thanos did nothing wrong, the Arachnids did nothing wrong. For some reason, the 90s had a plethora of movies that have been misinterpreted as having twist endings. Like the idea that Kevin Spacey played Kaiser Soze in The Usual Suspects, even though he's clearly not big enough.
And that's a question that I'm often asked. Who is Kaiser Soze? Kaiser Soze is Bryan Singer, the director of this film.
Or that Brad Pitt and Edward Norton somehow play the same character in Fight Club, as if a studio would waste that kind of money paying two A-listers to do the same job. But the one that really gets me is the main focus of today's video essay, The Sixth Sense.
Bruce Willis is a ghost. He's been dead the entire time. All the best.
No! It's a theory built on flimsy evidence and a total misunderstanding of visual storytelling. The theory boils down to the idea that Bruce Willis's character was dead for most of the movie, just because he was shot in the first scene. Now, you'd think that a gut shot would be a life-threatening injury in reality, but this isn't reality.
It's all a movie. It's all one great big movie.
A lot of movies of that era showed people getting shot in the stomach and surviving.
You're gonna be fine. Along with the kneecap, the gut is the most painful area a guy can get shot in.
Shit.
But it takes a long time to die from it. I'm talking days.
As the great film theorist Patrick H. Willems said,
movies aren't about logic.
Most people in the audience don't actually know one way or the other if that wound is survivable.
Are you a doctor?
If director M. Night Shyamalan wanted us to know that Bruce Willis was shot to death, he would have shown us, because that's the kind of visual filmmaker that he is. Some like to point out that Malcolm hardly talks to anyone in the movie, but that's just efficient storytelling. Take this scene, where Cole enters and finds his mom and therapist in the middle of a conversation. Do we really need to know what they're talking about? An old acting adage goes, a look is as good as a line.
If I can pull off a paragraph, the meaning of a paragraph, with one look, go with the look, not the words.
The focus of the scene is Malcolm and Cole's relationship. We don't need to hear the mom and doctor scheduling appointments, so Shyamalan wisely cut that dialogue. As I've explained in a previous video, filmmakers should always show, not tell. If you're liking this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And if you want your friends to know what great tastes you have in video essays, hit the share button. But he doesn't talk to his wife, I hear you objecting. Yeah, that's the whole point of the movie. It's why Shyamalan wrote it.
He's working with the boy, Oh, I wonder, what's this guy's marriage like? Well, he's not, he goes home, he doesn't speak to his wife. He just has a difficult time communicating with his wife. Why doesn't he talk to his wife?
It's all about family.
I wrote Stuart Little the same year I wrote Sixth Sense, so for me, I'm the family film guy too, I don't know.
Malcolm has been spending too much time with his patient and not with his wife, and so Anna begins drifting away. Now imagine if the ghost theory was true. What would that mean for this subplot? Suddenly, Anna is a grieving widow. She can't see ghosts, so she doesn't know that Malcolm can see her with another man. And she hasn't done anything wrong. It would have been, according to the theory, a year since her husband's death. There's no conflict, and the whole subplot would be completely pointless. And that's just one of the inconsistencies created by the Malcolm is a ghost theory. In this scene, Cole explains to Malcolm the ghost rules. Proponents of the ghost theory love to point out that Cole is looking at Malcolm as he says the famous line,
I see dead people.
But that's how conversations work. Of course he's looking at Malcolm.
Don't you know anything? It's called eye contact.
Anyway, back to the rules.
They only see what they want to see. They don't know they're dead.
So what, Malcolm wants to see his wife cheating on him? Malcolm doesn't act like the rest of the ghosts in any case. All of the rest of the ghosts seem to be stuck at the moment that they died and where they died. But Malcolm is walking around freely. They're all wearing the clothes they had on at the time of their death, but Malcolm switches from his suit to sweats and sometimes puts on a trench coat. This supposed twist would introduce so many contradictions that I couldn't possibly list them all.
How did anyone make appointments if he's a ghost?
Well, it happened off screen or something, so we don't even have to think about it.
Oh, that's pretty helpful. How does he find out about those things if he's a ghost?
Unclear, off screen.
So when Malcolm is doing his penny trick, is there just a penny floating in front of Cole?
Maybe, or maybe he's just seeing a penny because he wants to see a penny, or maybe he died with some change in his pocket.
So his change might have died too?
Maybe.
But setting aside the plot, let's look at one more piece of cinematic evidence that the proponents of this theory like to use. Fading to white supposedly definitely means that a character, in this case Malcolm, has died and is going to heaven. Film schools will try to teach you about visual grammar and cinematic language, but all of that is just a metaphor.
It's not a perfect metaphor.
As the late great David Bordwell puts it, there is no rule that requires a long shot to be followed by a close-up, the way that a preposition in language requires an object. Techniques like whiteouts don't have consistent universal meanings. The whiteouts in The Thing don't represent anything other than snow. Total Recall fades to white because of the changing Martian environment. And Thelma and Louise ends with a whiteout to signify their escape from the law. So does the whiteout on Malcolm mean that he's dead? Or does it mean he's finally resolved his issues with his wife and is now thinking back on their wedding day? You know, where she wore a white wedding dress? As you can see, the case for the Bruce Willis is a ghost the whole time theory is pretty thin. He doesn't walk through walls, he doesn't float, and he certainly doesn't scare Haley Joel Osment. Movies aren't codes to be deciphered. If the filmmaker wanted us to know that Malcolm was a ghost, he would have shown us. Although he's had his ups and downs, Shyamalan is a great writer and director, and The Sixth Sense is still probably his best movie. I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. Just don't expect a crazy twist ending.
Do you hate when people give spoilers to, like, Sixth Sense or anything, or... Yeah.
Before commenting on this video, please be sure to check the upload date. The second half of this video will be available early for paid subscribers on the Too Much Film School Substack, as well as members on YouTube. Thanks for watching.